Okay, so 1 minute has passed, and I've seen that we have around 10 attendees at the moment. So we'll start. This webinar will be recorded and posted on Onix YouTube playlist, YouTube channel. So if you cannot watch the whole webinar, you can always rewatch the recordings. And as I've mentioned before, I'm Phương, the product specialist of Onix, and I will guide you through the new updates of today's release. Uh, Unfortunately, my co-host Michael, the product owner, has been caught up in unexpected issues, so he cannot join us today. And in today's webinar, we will guide you through first the general features that can be used by any users. Second, the features that the equipment suppliers will be best interested in. And finally, the features that the equipment owners and inspectors will be more interested in. On the screen below, on the screen, you will see that I have listed some highlighted features. Those are the features that will be demonstrated in the webinar. And at the end of the webinar, we will have the Q&A session. So if you have any question, you can type in the public chat. Or if you think that your question contains sensitive information that you do not want to share to anyone, feel free to switch to the private channel. At the end of today's webinar, after we have finished the Q&A session, you will be presented with an evaluation form, and we hope that you can spend some 5 minutes to finish that evaluation form so that in the future we will know how to improve the webinars. And why I present these features, after I've presented on the slide, I will also do a demonstration. So the demonstration of each feature right here will not be left until the end. Okay. So in case that you cannot hear me clearly, if you cannot see the screen clearly, please let me know right away. Just type in the public chat and I will check and we can continue the webinar. Okay. So we will go into the new updates today. So first thing, it will be the general features. So these are all the general features all listed in two main applications, two areas. So the first one is the new Onix branding. You will notice this in all applications today when you open either Onix Work, Onix Inspect, Onix Worker, or any app. And then we have a list of general features in Onix Work. So I will go into the details in the later slides. Okay, so first thing, it is the new Onix branding. You will notice that when you open, for example, Onix Work, you will see there is the new logo of Onix and then the new navigation bar. All other Onix applications also have the new logo updated, as you can see over here. And for mobile applications, the new branding has been updated too. And why do I show you the picture of the Onix Work right here? Because you might see that instead of the 3 charts on the homepage, we have removed it and recommend you to use the more, let's say, more advanced charts in the dashboard models of Onix Work. So do remember that in the previous homepage charts, we have the due equipment chart, right? So you can find that data inside the dashboard's standard dashboard named equipment owner. And in equipment owner, you will see that the data is divided into two equipment for mandatory inspection, preventive maintenance, operator jobs. And of course, you are free to explore other widgets within this standard dashboard. There are more than just two equipment. For the find jobs, if you were previously interested in this chart, you can find it in the inspector chart. Sorry that the image right here is overlaying, but you can see from my screen here in the inspector standard dashboard, the 5 jobs by my company last year and this year are two separate widgets. So if you want to track this data, the data is more accurate. And then for delivered equipment chart, you will find it under the supplier standard dashboard. They have delivered equipment last year, and the special thing about the dashboard model is that whenever you click on, let's say, this column or this column or any column, then you will be redirected to the equipment model or to the relevant model, and then you will have a list of drill down data. So you can see, for example, if in the two equipment this year mandatory inspection here, if I click on this column of the due equipment on May 2025, I will be redirected to the list of relevant equipment. Okay, so that's all for the new Onix branding, and then the, let's say, Onix Work homepage. Okay, next we have the Onix Partners. So Onix Partners is our new program. Any company that is granted the Onix Partner are considered the trusted companies that provide the solutions for managing equipment, especially like lifting and other work equipment, through the Onix platform. So it means they have the expertise to help you. And if you go into the company's model and you switch to these two views, the own companies or the Onix partner companies, you will find these Onix partners with their badge over here. Or if you click into them, you click to open them, you will see the badge and their introduction. So the introduction and stuff will come on later. We also offer a partner map, which will become available and ready for use in the next month. Okay, so the next one is an enhancement in Onix Work. When you add documents to the equipment, previously you can only choose a document from your own device, but now you can also add from your company's shared document library. So you see here in my screenshot, there are two options. So this means that one document can be used and linked to more than one specific equipment. And if you are managing your company's shared document, you can go to the settings, shared document library, and there will be a new column named linked equipment, which gives you the information of which information is linked to this specific document. And the next one, it is an enhancement. When you search for the documents, previously you don't have the option to search by document file's name. So for example, if you can see in my screenshot here, I have 3 files that I named service report, etc. And there is a new field under the document properties section in the search box. By default, this, let's say, filter criterion will look for the file names that start with the keyword. So if you want to search for any file name that contains or ends with or start with, you will have to configure that setting over here in this small button. just like other fields. So here I look for a file named service, and then I will be returned with the right results. And next is an enhancement for the issues. So previously, when you create a new issues, you can set the grade as a question mark. So what if you forget to come back and then edit it later? That or if somebody else comes into the issue and then uh, doesn't know the correct grade. So now we want to prompt the accuracy. We want to promote the accuracy of issue registration. So you can only select the C, R, C, and NC grades. And if you have already created some issues before 28th of February, these question mark issues will remain unchanged. So they will be untouched. And then for settings, if you are wondering which control categories your company is using, or if you want to change the selection, then we have added a new search box here. So if your company is working on so many control categories and it is really tiring to just browse through this very long list, then just type. So for example, if I want to know which control categories are related to the grants that my company is using, just type grant in here and then I will locate all of the relevant ones easily. The same for when you want to change selection, you can type to search, and you can, if you're working on so many many items, just select all and then deselect the unnecessary ones. Okay. Finally, this is a retirement of the Power BI configuration inside the Onix Work settings. This is part of our full retirement for the Power BI integration. So we plan the full retirement in June this summer. So our recommendation is that you will use the custom reports in Onix Work settings to extract data and monitor any data as you wish. Okay, so that's all for the general features. Next, we will come to the features that are interested. We believe that will be most interested by the suppliers. If you sell equipment or you deliver equipment to your customers, then we hope that you can stay. If you are not in this role, if you just order some equipment or just inspect equipment, your section will come in the later part. They really appreciate it if you could stay and have a look at what's new. Okay, so we'll go into the suppliers. So these are all of the changes for the suppliers. We have the two new features in the orders module related to the redesigned numbering page. This applies to all the orders and order lines. And then if you are automating the processing of orders and order lines, then you will be interested in how to exclude some order lines from the auto processing. And then there is an enhancement on how you can export documents for just some selected order lines. And finally, there are two new features in Onix Maker. First, we have introduced a new zero license orders module. If you are working with some producers and you want their help to register the equipment data so that you can pick the equipment to in Onix Pick and Pack later on. This will be very interesting. So because you can organize the imported data by orders instead of just import data and cannot manage the imports as before. And then the Onix Maker is also now available in the sandbox environment. So if you and your producers want to try the Onix Maker without damaging the real data on production, you can go into the sandbox. Okay, so let's go with the first one. This will be demonstrated right away. So this is the redesigned numbering page with some new features. So these are all of the highlights of the redesigned numbering page. Firstly, is the autofill panel over here, which allows you to fill out multiple numbering fields at once. You do not have to do it one by one. And then you can like copy the numbering values from your Excel sheets instead of just typing or generating it in Onix Work. Then, as you can see in this screenshot here, there is a new column called global ID, which is not editable. But if you have already picked equipment in Onix Pick and Pack, you can see the global ID strings here, and you can review and check if there is any mistake before you process the order lines. And finally, an enhancement, but really impactful, I believe, compared to the previous state, is that you can navigate the numbering table with your arrow keys. So I will show you how it works right away. Okay, so I am in Onix Work Orders module right now. While I demonstrate this feature, if you have any question, feel free to type into the chat box, and then I will visit it in the Q&A session. Okay, so here I am in the orders module. I have already created some lines. Okay, so this is the order line that I have created, and I have set 35 nails to be numbered. So I switch to the numbering tab. And this is the new one. So let's say that I already have an Excel sheet that contains the first 10 items information. So now I don't want to like type this into the numbering table one by one. So what I will do is that I have just copied in Excel, and now I press, I focus on the cell, I press Ctrl V or paste, and then done. So if you are working with an Excel sheet, then you just copy and paste into this quickly. Because I do not pick this order line by Onix Pick and Pack, so my global ID column here is empty. Okay, so I save. You see that I have already picked 10 equipment. So how about the rest? Let's say that I want to, I have a list of equipment in front of me. Now I will start numbering their serial number. So you see that there is only one serial number field over here. So I will type the prefix and then the next number. I do not have any suffix. So you see the quantity here is 35, and I can preview how it will be filled in the outside numbering table. So what if when I number the serial number, I also want to number the batch? No, I just enable the fields over here, autofill for 2, autofill for 3, and let's turn on the production year too. Okay, so production year for the rest of them is 2024, and the batch number is different. That's why we don't have ready. For the owner's ID, I realized that, oh, I do not need this one. So I will disable it. And this is the preview. When I hit apply, it will be exactly as the preview. Okay, so when I work with this one, I will just use my keyboard to go up and down of each item and check if the information is correct. So when I think that everything is okay, I will press save and everything is picked. So I will just process the order line and get 35 nails delivered to my customers. So that's all for the redesigned numbering page. Let's come back to our presentation for the next feature. Okay, so this one is about the auto processing. So previously in the last release, we introduced the ability to automate the processing of order and order lines. But what if you have some products that are really complex and you don't want to process them automatically? You want to review them really carefully, and you know that you have some customers that are really that might be very strict or needs your special attention when you handle their documents. So you want these the other lines that have these specific products or delivered to these specific customers be handled manually, be reviewed really carefully. That's why in this release we will enhance the auto processing with a new feature that allows you to exclude some order lines based on the setting on the product and the customer. So these are just some screenshots, but then we can dive into how it works right here. Okay, so we'll open the products and the companies. Okay, so first, as I mentioned, we can mark some equipment as here. If you open an equipment, if you open a product and you scroll down to its order section, there is a new checkbox named Auto Process Order Lines. And if you go into the company's module, and then you open any customer company, either a non-member one or a member one, and you open the settings, there is also a checkbox named Auto Process Order Lines here. So what does this checkbox mean? If let's say that I turn on this one. Okay, so if an order line that has this very product and delivered to this very customer, that order line will have the auto process turned on by default. So I will create a new order line. Okay, sorry, we'll go to the order line. Okay. And previously I worked on this mobile phone product, so I will select it. And you see that I'm delivering to a customer named Heavy Load. This customer was marked as auto processed. So by default, this line will be auto processed. Of course, you can always change the setting in this one, but by setting it in the product and the company level, it will be much more efficient and then faster when you work with the other lines. And then just press save. So when I finish all the information and then finish picking up and numbering the this order line and then set to the next stage, then this order line will be automatically processed. So for example, if I create another order line with this equipment, which does not have this auto process order lines checkbox turned on, that order line by default will have the checkbox turned off. So in conclusion, only when you have both the checkbox, both the setting on product and customer turned on, only then the relevant order line will have this on by default. Okay, and that's all for how to exclude some order lines from the auto processing. Now we come back to the presentation. To the next enhancement, also in the orders module. So previously you can only show the documents on the whole order line. But what if you just want to show to export some documents of some order lines? Then now you can do it by selecting the order lines, click on show documents, and then you will be presented with the relevant ones. And next one is the new features in the Onix Maker. So as you can see in the screenshot, there is the new model named serialized orders instead of the old model named upload as previously. So in this new model, you can create many serialized orders. When you create orders, you can set who is the supplier who sells this list of equipment, and then who is the customer, what are the customer what are the order numbers, the customer order numbers, and then the date of that order. And inside one serialized order you can import multiple times. So if you are delivering, let's say 100 equipment, 100 items, and you only have the data finished ready for half of them, then you can import in 2 times. So, and when you upload a file, you will see the data listed here. So it will help you with checking which one is correct or incorrect. And in case that you want to delete, then you just select the relevant items and then delete. So what if you want to try this out and you don't want to damage the real data? Then you can do it. You can try it out in the sandbox environment. So the link is just like any other sandbox environment applications. It is the app name and then dash sandbox.onix.com. Or if you need help with accessing this, then you can contact us at Onix support via the email address support@onix.com. And that's all for the suppliers. If you're owning some equipment and you're inspecting equipment, then this is the section for you. So these are all the features for the equipment owners and inspectors. Why do we merge your roles in one section instead of separating it into a separate one like the suppliers? It is because we believe that these features will, many of these listed features will benefit both roles. And usually when you own equipment, you sometimes do the inspection. You have to check if your equipment is safe, right? So that's why these are all the features that will help you manage your equipment, manage the inspection plans, and then do the inspections more efficiently. So there is a big one that is applicable in Onix Work, Onix Inspect, and Onix Worker. That is the ability to perform the preventive maintenance on multiple equipment at once. So you don't have to do it one by one anymore. This will be demonstrated too. Then there are some enhancements in Onix Work. In the forms, we introduced the new report of thorough examination form, which gives you better customization, gives you the latest form layout, and you can also do it on multiple equipment at once. You don't have to do it one by one. We have also made a small change, an enhancement to entity report, which allows you to use the one column grid layout. For Onix Inspect and Onix Worker, we introduce the enhancements. And finally, there is a big new feature in Onix Toolstar. If you are using this application, you will see that today you have a redesigned surf mode. And how this works, I will present it and then demonstrate it later on. Okay, so now we'll go into the details. The first one, it is the new report of thorough examination form. So previously, I can show you later on a side by side, let's say comparison. That in this report of thorough examination, the new one, we give you the form properties designer, which allows you to design the form properties uh, and then configure as we did with the entity report. And this is the new form layout. So let's see how it works. I'm back to Onix Work. And please let me switch the organization a bit. Okay. Here, this is the old report of thorough examination. If you frequently work with this one, you will see that this is really, really familiar. But how will this, let's say, options are determined? Can we actually press yes or no this one? Or how can we configure all of this, let's say, elements? There is very limited customization here, right? You don't have the choice. So we will see how we can improve this with the new report thorough examination. So to use this, you should set the form active in the settings of forms. So usually this is done by the administrators of your companies. So scroll down a little bit. See, under the old report thorough examination, you have the new one inactive. So now we will activate it. Let's press save. Let's say we have me as the default responsible. Okay, save. And the variants. So this is an empty list, but we do offer you some predefined variants. So press here, or if you want to start from scratch, then just press add variant. But I want to have the predefined. So this is a predefined one. If I press add a variant, I will be presented with a great new variant panel, just like this. But please let me go to the predefined one and start editing from there, because we will see how this will work. So the same, let's say the same fields as in the the create variant details panel, right? So here there is this status, active or inactive, set to inactive if you're not using this variant anymore, but still want to keep it. Then the variant description, the form header, which the text that will appear on the top of the document. the subheader pretty similar to the old one. The form language, here I will choose English. That's my main language. And then locale. Here we choose English United Kingdom in GB. That is the default one. I can always change this. And I click save. And there is the open form properties designer. You will see you can actually edit or delete some groups or points over here. So these are really familiar, right? The options that you see in the old forms, but now you have the power to actually change this. So let's say that I want to use this uh, let's say predefined variant, but I want to change its layout a little bit, and then change to column table. Keep this one. Click save. Okay, how does it look like? I'll click preview. And this is how it will look like with the layout that I have defined in the variant as before. So what are we gonna do? We will create some do inspection with this new report thorough examination form. Okay, here I select the first three equipment, click new job, and I choose the new form. Okay, here I have to choose the variant and check out all of the details responsible by me. Job status, let's say it's okay. Click save. And once I've switched to the new form, there will be a new tab named Form Properties right here. So I should insert the choices, the result in this one. To save times, I will just fill in the required fields. This should be no. This is no. This is none. Or I can type any free text, but here just none. And this is save. Let's say that it is a good inspection. I can leave some comment here. The equipment are safe for use. Add some pictures if that is necessary, and then I save. Here there are some checklists I can edit, but now I choose not to. Scroll down to check the job intervals, and then I preview this document. Note that if you're using this form with multiple equipment, you cannot preview. But if you're using it on one equipment, then feel free to. So now we'll find. Okay. We will go to each equipment and see what's changed. Here, this is the new form, the new document just generated. So you will see that even though I do it on multiple equipment at once, when I file, I will get a new report of thorough examination for each of the equipment. So really save time. These are all of the results that I inserted before. And the same should be for the third equipment. So that's all for the new report of thorough examination. And this should be the same in Onix Inspect. If you want to use this form, you should enable it in the Onix Work settings, and then when you download new customer data to the Onix Inspect, then you will have it ready for use. The next one, the entity report. This is, we call it an enhancement to the layout. So now we add the one column grid. Previously, we already support two column grid and the table. So you can configure this in the settings, forms, and when you design the form properties. Next are the new features and enhancements in Onix Work. But this first one is also related to Onix Inspect and Onix Worker. So I will start with Onix Work. It is the ability to perform preventive maintenance from more than one equipment at once. So if you're maintaining many equipment and then you want to do your work faster, this is the way. When you file the job, it's like when you complete the job, each equipment will be linked to one separate job. And if your company is enabling the service report form, then each equipment will be linked to one separate document. So this is more like a way to do things faster. It will not create a service report that lists many equipment inside one document. So we'll see how it works. You can do it in Onix Inspect too, but because everything can be done in Onix Work, so I will just showcase how it goes in Onix Work. So let's say that I want to inspect the first three equipment again, but this time for preventive maintenance. And note that my company has the service report active, enabled here. If your company is not using the service report, it's okay. You can still use this feature. It's just that the maintenance job will not generate any document. Okay, so here I do it on this equipment, press new job. I will change the job class so that I can select the relevant checklist. Let's say the job status is okay also. Now I fill in the checklist. To save time, I will fill on statuses with OK and assume that the equipment are good for use. Insert my comment here. In maintenance results, good for use. And then I save. Okay. Where everything is done, I can preview, and I will be prevented because this is also a multiple equipment job, so it's not possible. So I can only file this preventive maintenance job. Okay. So now we will go into each equipment to see what's new. So as you see, service report ends with 132. The equipment is this one, this specific one. For this next equipment, you see the service report number is different, which means that the document is a separate one. Also with the same information on the checklist, so you can do this on multiple equipment at once. Faster, save time. Okay, so then we come back to the slides and then we can see uh, what are the next enhancements. Okay, so the next one is enhancement for the settings. So if you are performing an inspection and the job status is NC, and you don't want to set a next due date in the future because obviously the equipment is not safe for use, and then it should be rejected, it should be checked again in the same date, then you can enable this setting in your Onix Work settings. If the job status is NC, the next due date on that job and also on the document will be set as the job date. If you want to show a warning message, especially when you are doing the inspection from Onix Inspect app, then you can check this sub option, show warning message, to just a reminder. If you take this off, you will not be reminded. It will be good if you already know about this setting. Okay, so next. Uh, okay, sorry for the slides. Okay, so this is the next one. Next one. In Onix Work, Inspecting Worker, you have the job interval named a new way to filter for equipment that has a specific job interval. So if here I choose the option to show the equipment that has a mandatory inspection 12 months, you may want to look for equipment that has preventive maintenance 6 months or another one. And you can also set this in the inbuilt filters so that the filters are default. This is a little bit hidden behind the symbols, but basically we add a new display field filter criterion, common stone star. So if you are working with Onix stone star, and when you check out equipment, you leave a comment, this comment will be visible here for display and for filtering. For equipment, in the equipment module of Onix Work, Inspecting Worker, you have the ability to edit the job interval descriptions and durations. Previously, the editing is quite limited, but now if you select one or like more than one equipment, you will be presented with many options to add, to update, to edit an existing one, to like remove a specific interval, so you can update things more efficiently. Here in Onix Work, this is how you will get these editing panels. Select the equipment, press edit, choose choose edit on job intervals. And next is an enhancement in Onix Work. If you are working with more than one control regime, standard, EKH, or lower, you can go into a new tab called regime default form, and then you set the default form for each control regime. We have the option, three options: inspection report, the old report of tariff examination, or the new report of tariff examination. And of course, if that form has a variant, you can also specify the variants here. Okay, we are already reaching the end. This is an enhancement in Onix Worker. So if you are managing equipment with this mobile app, then you will be interested. Previously, when you create a new issue, you can only set it to draft, right? But now you can set it as to do or directly to solve if you have already solved that issue on the spot. And finally, uh, a new feature, a redesign again in Onix Toolstar happened to the self mode. We will have the demonstration right away. But the highlights, as you can see, this is a brand new design of the self mode, which allows you to do the check-in and check-out, basically making the processes faster, more efficient. You don't have to do it one by one. And let's come to the demonstration. So this is the Onix Tool Store. If you are using the Onix Tool Store and you are the one doing all the check-in, check-out for your colleagues, then you will see that this screen is very familiar. Here and in the surf mode, there is no switch surf mode here. So this is the screen. You start with the user selection. So let's say that I am checking out equipment for a colleague named Emma. And by default, I can scan the equipment. I do not have a scanner here. So for me, I will go and search manually because this is demonstration. So I do not have to check our equipment by this Emma user. So I will switch to another view named available equipment only. So these are the equipment available for checkout, also check-in. I will add this equipment to the cart over here. So these are some unique equipment, the blueberry scanners. Okay, and then I have this non-unique equipment. And because this is non-unique, so when I add it to the cart, I will have to enter the quantity. Okay, all equipment in the cart right now. If you are scanning, this will be much more quickly. Here you will see on each equipment, there is like a drop-down box which lets you choose to check in or check out. What if I want to change quickly? So I will select this 3 equipment to check out, okay, and only this one to check in. I can also select in drop down, but here we select and press the button and below. Okay, I'm done. Now I will review all of this once again, and then there is the checkout additional info, right? So this is the default expected return date. What if I change it to 5th of March and the place to be used is Hall A. I do not leave any comment. Click save. You see that the equipment that has already been added to the cart will maintain the old expected return date. But if I add new equipment to the cart and I just check out, the new default expected return date and information will be automatically filled in. So my advice for you guys will be when you have some default info, set it beforehand. What if I want to change the additional info of multiple equipment at once? Go to the selection mode and then press the additional info over here. So let's say that I will put this equipment in another place and save. Okay, it looks good. So now I will press complete. And that's all for checking in and out equipment. Okay. And that's also the end of today's release webinar. Actually, that's more like the end of my presentation. And I haven't seen any question from you guys on, so I think I will wait for another 2 minutes to see if there's any question. In case that you don't have any question right now, but then you suddenly think of one later when this webinar has already ended, feel free to send an email to our Onix support mailbox, support@onix.com, and then we'll be happy to assist you. Okay, so we'll wait for another 2 minutes to see if there is any questions. You're welcome, Uni. Because I haven't received any new questions until now, so please let me announce the conclusion of today's webinar. I hope that you can spend some time to try out these new features. We sincerely hope that this new updates will enhance your work. If you have any question, contact support at onix.com and see you in the next release. Okay, goodbye and have a nice day.